Is it working? All right, it looks like it's working. Oh, what a nightmare. YouTube. They've been doing so good lately. This new YouTube studio has been really clean. It just works. You log in, you click the button, and you go live. Somebody in the chat, if you could, just let me know if let me know if you can hear me. It's been a nightmare. So I had to go back to the backup server. There's a backup YouTube server. Maybe something's funky with YouTube. I don't know, but it looks like it's working. So, hey everyone. Sorry I'm a little late. Little technical difficulties. I've been standing here for 10 minutes hitting the reload button and tapping the start streaming button with nothing happening. But I'm here, and you're here, and I love that you've joined me tonight for another episode of Gear Talk. This is episode 32. 32 episodes, which is ridiculous. I say that every week, but every week I do it, and it's 32 times now, so that's just crazy. The amount of hours that I've spent talking with y'all is just, put that into the podcast and the videos and all that, just hundreds and hundreds of hours. Also, I missed my anniversary, but last week was my 3 years back to blading. So I'm going to have to start work on my my anniversary edit, which is where I go through and I get clips from all of the most highlighted, my favorite episodes of the YouTube video from the year. It's usually a fairly long video because I do a lot of things that I really, when I look back, I say, oh, that was fun, or oh, that hurt. And I'm going to put together a clips video with some of my favorite memories from this last year, 3 years back. So thank you all for watching any of the videos, but especially if you've ever left a comment, if you've ever sent me a message, if you've ever hit the like button, or if you've helped somebody else in the comments getting back to blading, it really, really warms my heart. I do this because I absolutely love skating. And I don't think that I would do it as often if I didn't have an audience, if I didn't have that motivation every weekend to get out there and skate. And I know that I motivate a lot of you to go out and skate as well. And it feels amazing to be part of this community. Thank you all for everything that you've done for me, all the support over the last 3 years. It is really appreciated, and I can't wait to start year 4. So, like I do every time, Gear Talk, I always like to start with my current setups. So, this last weekend, for the first time in probably 4 months, my oldest daughter asked to go skating with me again. And that is amazing. She loves watching the videos. She mostly loves to watch her dad fall. But sometimes she does ask to go skating with us. And she has, I don't think I have her skates. I think she put out her skates to her room, which is always a good feeling as well. I don't have her skates, but she has some Rosie's adjustable kid skates. So they're nothing crazy. I did put some Compass 72 mil wheels on there, so she's riding in style. But she doesn't have anything special. They're just really nice, comfortable skates for her so that she can learn the basics. Whenever I go out skating with her, though, I always like to ride some big wheels because you never know what I'm going to get myself into with her. And I want to make sure that I have a good, smooth ride if I have to chase her down or if I have to catch her from falling. So my big wheel setup for this event was the Seba CJs with the ground control 4x80 frame. So these are the Seba CJ carbons. They are the carbon shell with the usually come with the sole plate. I took off the sole plate whenever I skate big wheels with them. Absolutely love these boots with big wheel setup. They have so much support. This is the boot that the mushroom blading guys use, that the wizard guys use. These are the boots that they recommend because it provides the most support. It is a flat boot. It is a UFS boot. Take off that sole plate and you've got this boot, this carbon bolted straight to the frame. It is an amazing feeling. So I am riding 4x80. These are the 80 millimeter compass wheels, the Raleighs. This is the black second generation of the ground control frame. This is the large size, so you can see that it's a bit longer than it needs to be. The smaller one, I think the wheelbase is 243, which means that these 80 millimeter wheels are right next to each other with only a millimeter gap in between them. And that's fine if you have smaller feet. For me, I'm a size 10 and a half, 28.5 foot, so I like a slightly longer wheelbase. This wheelbase is 270 from 1 to 4, and I think it's fairly equal spread in the middle, so it really gives me this nice even ride. It is an amazing skate. So I really like skating these just around town, just doing whatever. They are a little heavier than like my Flying Eagles, these things. Can I get this one off? I don't want to drop everything. So these are the trail skates that I ride, and these are much lighter. These don't have carbon or anything on them. They're designed for just free skate. They have 3x110, so these are 110 millimeter wheels. These are the 80 millimeter wheels. What's interesting is these two frames have about the same wheelbase, give or take. This one's a little bit shorter. I think this is a 255 wheelbase, this being a 270. So this is, 15 mil shorter, but it's nice and solid. And you can see why now you would want to ride 3 big wheels versus 4 littler wheels or 80 millimeter wheels. This wheelbase is very similar, but the size of these wheels is just a huge difference. So if you're skating for distance, these are really great because you get that coast feeling. When you have big wheels, you might not have the get to the top speed as quick. You might not have the maneuverability, but you can definitely coast. So if I'm skating for a long distance and I just want to skate, and then relax for a while, these will let me relax further than these. But these feel amazing to skate. So when I'm just skating around town, when I'm doing wall rides, when I'm doing stair rides, this is a really great setup. Need to find more reasons to skate this. I need to try skating it aggressive again. It's been a long time since I've skated these CJs aggressive. I should probably do that again. It's just so many skates that I want to try. It's hard to get to them. So this is my big wheel setup. And then, this is my trail setup. I haven't skated the trails lately. It's been really busy with the aggressive stuff. Just trying to find time to get to the trails. Really difficult. And it's been raining. I don't know what it is, but I mean, it's fall. Or I guess it's end of summer, early fall. It's almost fall. What is it, a couple more days of summer, and then it's fall. And we just get a lot of rain. It's like hurricane season out here, so it gets really gross. So that's my big wheel setup, my aggressive setup. I think I mentioned it in the last show. Where did they go? Oh, here they are. I am back on my USD 7s. So I absolutely love these skates. I remember how much I loved these skates after I skated them for the first session. They just feel so solid. I mean, what's not to like about them? It's just a solid boot. The lacing system is just minimal, but it works really well. They do have this little double back lace up top, so you can tighten this area down really tight, and then you get this area and you just pull it and it won't slip. Really good idea. I use it a lot. It's got the MyFit Fat Boy liner. It's probably my favorite, base liner. It's nothing crazy. It's not like a Crown liner or an Intuition or something like that. But it's really good for just overall skating. Skating the 50-50 frames, and I have large frames. These are the new 5888A wheels. They are holding up pretty well. I still have mold lines on the middle 2 wheels. I've lost the mold line on the front wheel. The rear wheel is usually the one that I lose first. So I didn't expect this one to last. But I feel like these are lasting longer than the white samples that I had. I don't know. It might just be me, but they definitely provide a really good ride. Absolutely love it. The 88A is probably the best hardness for most people. I think it's a really good mix of speed and cushion. The 85A was a lot of fun. If you are a lighter person or if you're skating a wood skate park, it is highly recommended to go 85. You got to try it. If you are a little heavier or if you're skating outdoors more, probably the 88 is the way to go. This is what I would recommend for most people, the 88A. I think this is just the nice balance between the two. I also am trying the new grind plates. I don't know if I talked about this in the last Gear Talk. I don't think I had them yet. But I got myself some sample grind plates to test out. So back in the days, I actually have a pair here. Back in the days, we had aluminum grind plates. And this is what they looked like. So these are machined out of a solid strip of 6061 aluminum. They are nice and clean. They fit a bunch of different skates. They have a nice little pre-groove. And the purpose of them is to give a nice sound and a nice grind feeling when you're skating coping. There was a time back in the days when Senate made aluminum grind plates, and they pitched them as skating everything. So you would skate ledges with them, you would skate rails with them, you would skate whatever you wanted with them. I think that's fine. I don't know that I would recommend skating aluminum grind plates on ledges. I think that it's the wrong tool for the job. I think if you wanted to get grind plates, you could definitely make your UHMW grind plates, or you could just skate with no grind plates. These were fun for skating mini ramps. So this is the one that I skated. They're very similar to the originals. I made a few adjustments. They're slightly shorter, so they fit nicely within the balance juice bumps. The balance frames only have a single size for the split. So this is 96 mil from wheel 2 to 3. So I got rid of the little strip. Didn't really need it. Save a little bit of money on the machine time. And all it is a single bolt, so it won't slide around or anything like that. The groove is very similar to the one that we had before. It's slightly tighter, which I'll get to in a little bit. And the size is very similar to how we had it before. So basically just replicated what we used back in the early 2000s, put it onto a brand new design, slightly skinnier, slightly modified, to go out to the skate park and give it a try. So what did I think? Well, definitely an amazing feeling skating metal. I think that once I started, I waxed the coping a little bit so that I could get a little bit of movement. But once I started really breaking these in, it felt amazing. It was kind of like a feeling of like ice skates, I guess, where you just kind of jumped on the coping and you would have to jump off. Not only did it have a really nice groove, but the metal on metal feels amazing. It's just the perfect sliding feeling. I think the plastic is probably okay. Honestly, I have to test between the two. I haven't tested what plastic feels like yet. But the fact that you're skating metal on metal sounds amazing, and it slides really, really great. Another nice benefit is that because the grind plate is here, it moves the groove out a little bit. So this is a 1/4 inch thick grind plate, which means that the frame on the inside edge is a 1/4 inch thicker than it was. So, where's my rail? Oh, let me get my rail. Got it. So, here's my rail. When you're doing groove tricks, so if you're doing just regular tricks like this, when you're doing groove tricks, as soon as I get up like this, I'm already on my grind plate. And the difference is that I'm further away from the wheels. So I will have very, very, very little wheel bite. I didn't bite once when I was doing front sides or back sides on these with these grind plates. And that was a really great feeling. It was just that feeling like you're skating anti-rocker, because you didn't have to worry about wheel bite, but you had flat. So I was skating, 8x58s. So I still had that great feeling. I still had that great carve, that great pump, and that great maneuverability. But because of the grind plates, I had a little bit beefier frame, which means that I had very little wheel bite. The problem that I ran into, and I didn't realize this afterwards, to be honest, it felt like I was skating them fine. I didn't see any issues when I was skating them. But I do see some room for improvement. So the first thing that I want to do is I'm going to cut down this edge, this chin, so that it's not so low. I don't think I ever scraped, but I could see somebody scraping on the grind plate if they push off. So I'm going to try to make this as minimal as possible. So I'm going to make this as tall on the bottom as I have the top. So it'll come up a little bit higher, like this. So it'll probably only be as thick from the top of the grind plate to the screw as it is. The bottom will be as thick as the top of the grind plate to the screw. So it'll come in a little bit. That means that this groove will be a little bit wider. It won't have this little pinch marks. If you can see closely, you can see the little area that I was grinding is actually these little areas. I never got down to the groove itself. So I was just balancing on these two little points. And that obviously is the bad design. That's not the way that it should be. The fact that I was still able to skate them and I never noticed the problem is a huge indicator that this is going to work, but I need to make it work the way that I want it to. So I'll probably open up this groove a little bit. This radius needs to be, I don't know what it is now, but I'm going to make it bigger so that the groove is a little fatter rather than as tight as it is. So it won't lock as perfectly on the coping, but it should lock great on the coping. That's the balance that I'm trying to get with these grind plates. And I might make the groove a little bit, right now it's just this little chamfered edge. I might make it a little bit rounded. That way you won't have to have that break-in period. You can see that I'm breaking in this area. But I don't know. I don't know what that's going to feel like yet. I need to test it a little bit more. So I'm still skating these, and I'm going to be skating these over at Woodward this weekend. I have a few pair that I'm going to be bringing out to Woodward so that people can give them a shot. Now, obviously, this is the first samples. There's going to be changes, so take it with a grain of salt. If you do get a chance to skate them, know that I'm still working on them. It's not a final version. I love to test in public. I love to get feedback from people. And I want to make sure that everybody has a chance to skate them that's interested in skating them. It is a fun sound. It is an amazing sound. It feels great when you lock on backside with this. It's really hard to get off, and that feels great. But I know that I can make them better. So we're not going to go in production with these. I do have about a dozen sets that I'm going to bring out to Woodward so that people can test them. And yeah, I'd love to get your feedback. If you are going, please find me so that I can get you a set. But I didn't stop there. So even though it does have its design flaws and could be improved for the next version, I do have a few sets that I'm sending out to the team. So I got these made for the team to test. So these ones are for the team only. They are the anodized black grind plates. Same design, same distance, same groove, same everything, but they are completely black. I don't know what the final shipping color is going to be, but I had an opportunity to make some black grind plates, and I said, of course, I want to make some black grind plates. So these are going to be going out to the team. If you know somebody on the team, or if you see somebody on the team, ask them to take a look. These look amazing in person. I think the black is going to be really popular with people. And this is just the beginning. So I really do want to explore grind plates again. I think it's a lot of fun to skate with grind plates. I think accessorizing, you look at the different wheels that are out. You look at the perfect example is Create Originals with the OG frame, where you can print out your own design for the inside of the frame. I think grind plates can do that as well. They don't fit on every frame. They only fit on balance frames right now. But if they're successful, I'll look into making them for whatever frames can accommodate grind plates. Different colors, different materials, different hardnesses. I think it's a lot of fun to really adjust your skates so that they're exactly the way that you want them. Speaking of Woodward, so what year is it? Is this weekend? It is from Friday until Sunday, and I will be there. I'm going to be driving up from North Carolina with my friend Rob. We are going to be there Friday night, and we're planning on skating all weekend. So if you are there, please stop by. Don't be shy. I promise that I'm a cool dude in person. That's what everyone says. But I definitely won't recognize you with the sea of people. If you recognize me, I'm going to be the dorky guy with the helmet with a compass sticker on the front. If you see me, please come by and say, hey, I would love to meet you, even if it's just to, shake your hand and say hi. Get a picture, whatever. But yeah, it would be great to see you. And maybe get a little session in or some clips or something. I will be doing a video. I have a few videos planned. I have a bunch of memory cards and a bunch of different cameras that I'm going to be bringing to test. I want to get as much footage as I can so that I can put this whole thing together and have a nice little video when I get back. But yeah, so Woodward, if you are coming, it's going to be a great trip. If you aren't coming, try to get out there next year. I think they're going to be doing it every year. Something new this year is they're going to be doing an industry session. So there's going to be a time for the industry to get together and have booths. The booths will be, I don't exactly know where they're going to be. I don't know Woodward very well, but there will be booths. We have a booth. So I got a booth for Compass and 50/50. So we will have all of our products on display. You'll be able to purchase products if you're interested. We'll have some special deals for Woodward, so you can get a nice little deal, some nice giveaways, and we'll have a bunch of stickers and things like that also to give away. One thing that I am trying this year, I've been skating these 85A wheels, and I am one of the few people who had 85A wheels. They don't make 85A wheels for aggressive very much. We brought in a small run of the 5885s. We have another run that just landed that's finally making its way to shops. But I know that a lot of you out there have never skated 85A wheels. Also, a lot of you haven't skated balance frames. You might have remember skating them back in the days, and now you're on something else. And you wanted to give them a try, but $60 is a lot to drop on a pair of frames that you might not like, and frames last forever. So it's not like you need to get new frames. So I brought and set up a pair of frames in every configuration that I make. So it's only in black, but every wheel size, every wheel hardness, and every frame length. So you'll be able to test out what other frames you want from 50/50 and see which ones are best for you. And maybe none of them are good for you, right? But at least you'll know, hey, I liked this, I didn't like this, and I can skate them. So all the frames. So here are the flat setups. These are the 85A. This is the 85A flat. This is the 88A, the 88A flat. So these are the 4x58s. These are both medium frames. I also have large frames. So the little sticker, I'm putting stickers on so that I can tell the difference between the large and the medium. You'll be able to see which frame fits your foot best. So this is a large frame anti-rocker with juice blocks and 5888s. These all have 50/50 bearings in them as well, so they are tuned in for the best performance that I would recommend for skating the balance frames. I also have the new prototypes of the 60mm 90A Stefan Brando wheel. So these are not quite announced yet. They were in the Roller Warehouse catalog. These are the first samples of the 90A 60mm wheel. So these have a really great profile for anti-rocker. They're designed for anti-rocker. They fit great in balance frames for anti-rocker. They have a nice rounded profile. They're a little bit harder, so they'll last a little bit longer, but they'll still provide fairly good comfort. We didn't go as high as 92 or 95. Stefan tested a bunch of different wheels for us and found that the 90A was the one that felt best for the way that he skated. So we're going to keep with a 90A. So this is the 60mm 90A. It should be out probably end of next month. I'm placing the order next week. But I will have a set of these in medium and in large so that you can test them out. And honestly, I want you to skate them how you would normally skate them. See what they feel like doing your normal tricks. You bring your boots, I'll bring the frame bolts, we'll put these frames on your skates, go out there and skate them, and then an hour later come back and say, I hate them. That's fine with me. Skate the hell out of them. I want you to have fun with these. At the end of the day, this is Saturday that I'm going to do testing. At the end of the day, I'm going to sell these used at the booth. So I don't plan on taking any of these frames home. If you want to pick up a pair of used frames complete, then make sure that you come to the booth on Saturday night and see what's available. I honestly don't know how much they're going to be. I don't know what condition they're going to be in after a day of skating. I don't know who all's going to skate on them, but assuming that they're still in good condition, they will be for sale at a heavily discounted price because I don't want to bring them back home. Anyway, super excited about Woodward. Last thing about Woodward. So I announced last week, I did not do this in time for Gear Talk, but I have a new product that I'm super excited about. It is called the Session Saver. So this thing is a little toolkit that you can throw in your backpack, and if you lose a frame bolt, or if one of your bearings busts out, or if you break an axle, you have access to all of the little bits and bobs that you need to fix your skates so that you don't ruin your session. So it comes with an axle and bearing spacer, 8mm standard, so it'll fit on Wish frames, Create Original frames, Aeons, Caltic frames, Rossi's frames, anything that uses an 8mm axle, these things will fit on. Comes with 2 bearings, ABEC 9 50/50 bearings. Comes with frame spacers, again standard 8mm frame spacers, fits on all of those frames. Comes with frame bolts as well as some washers, so you can shorten the length of the frame bolt in your frames so that it gets the perfect length. Comes with 2 Allen keys in case you need 2 Allen keys. And the best part, it comes with a nice little block of wax. So if you are at a skate park and the coping is sticky, or if you're sessioning a ledge and you need a little bit of wax, this isn't designed to coat a ledge or anything like that. This is designed to give yourself a little bit of oomph so that you can get over that kink, so that you can get around that curve in the bowl. This is just a little bit of wax, an emergency bar of wax, just in case you need it. So I have a bunch of these as well. Really looking forward to seeing you guys at Woodward. Please stop by. If you don't see me on the ramps or in the camp, definitely stop by. It's from 10 to 12 midnight. I don't know how I'm going to stay up that late. I'm usually in bed by 10:30. But for you, I'm going to stay up late. 10 to 12, Friday and Saturday night. We will be there Friday night. That's where you'll be able to sign up to test the frames. And then it's going to be first come, first serve. And I've got plenty of frames, so I would love to get them on your skates. I'd love to hear what you think, and I would love to meet you. All right, I'm going to take a break, get a drink, and go through some comments. As I always say, I love reading your comments. Please get in the live chat if you can, and make sure that you tag me. I see that there's a few comments being tagged with Back to Blading at Back to Blading. Makes it easier for me to see them. It's really hard to fly through and read all of the comments if it's not tagged, find the good questions. So please feel free to tag me. I'll take a look at everything that's tagged with my name. Just going to get a quick drink. All right. Starting from the top. Adam Tomlinson. Hi, Adam. I am getting back into skating after a 10-year hiatus myself. Well, welcome back. I am still on K2 Style Point Bobs, which I have right here for you. Is there a difference between the Aeon Basic and the Aeon 11? And is it worth $60? I am bummed that they stopped the 7. Yes, I am bummed that they stopped the 7 as well. I keep hearing rumblings that they're going to bring it back, but I have not seen any evidence of that. And any shops that have them only have them in like size 6, so that doesn't help anybody. I have an extra shell that bought from somebody, so I am good. I'm not going to sell it to you. I'm sorry. But I love these skates, and I'm going to keep them, and I'm going to keep skating them until they die. I need to get some more sole plates, though, so I got to see if I can find some of those. But definitely keep your eyes peeled if you can find some 7s. They sometimes show up on Blade Trade. You might be able to find them on eBay as well. Definitely highly recommended skates. However, you're coming from Style Points, and that's going to be a very different feeling than the USD 7. The USD 7 to me is one of the stiffer skates. It's why I like it. I have a hockey background, and when I do, my hockey skating, I tie up my skates super tight. I've heat molded my skates. They're super expensive hockey skates. They're super form-fitting, and that's what I like in skates. A lot of people will like a little bit more squish, a little bit more movement. You'll get that with like a USD carbon free, or like a Razor Shift, or what else is a good squishy skate? Like a Majestic 12. Those are fairly good squishy skates. The Aeons aren't bad, and I think that you've made a good decision to go with the Aeons. The difference between the 11 and the basic, you're going to get two things. One, the 11 has that weird material lacing system, which kind of, honestly don't know what it does. It brings the lace holes in more, which I don't know is a good thing. And maybe it gives you a little bit more support. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the 11s. I think if you were to get a pair of Aeons, you should really compare them between the basics and the Sam Crofts. I think the Sam Crofts look amazing. They're this really dark blue, like almost black blue color. They look really great. Super subtle, really nice liner that they come with. I think they're the same wheels and probably the same bearings as the basic, but it's worth getting if you really like that liner. But I mean, you can get a new liner for what, $80? Like, is it worth the extra $60 to get? I don't know. Personally, I'd probably go with the Aeon 60 Basic. I think that's the right skate for you to start out with. The nice thing is that you can skate those out of the box, $220. Just get out there and skate, and you don't have to worry about anything. You can upgrade the liner if you want to. You can put in new footbeds if you want to. You can upgrade the bearings and the wheels if you want to. All of that is really easy to do, but you don't need to spend it outright. Instead of going to the $300 level, stay at the $220, spend, your easy money, like the $220 to start, and then just get out and skate. I think that's the right move for you. I wouldn't spend extra money for the 11, and I probably wouldn't spend extra money for the Sam Croft, even though it's an amazing skate. I would just hold on to what you've got and then buy an extra liner, an aftermarket liner, if you find that the liners that you have aren't good. And they're probably pretty good. I mean, USD doesn't ship crap liners. They're really, really high quality. Even the low quality liners are pretty good. I hope that helped. And welcome back. It's good to have you. Please, make sure that you tag me on the Instagram if you get back out there. I love to see your stuff, and I love sharing. Manuel Perez. Hey, I'm a big fan. Do you mind letting me know on what is a good brand of boots, wheels, and frames for beginners? I've only been blading for 8 to 9 months. Manuel, welcome to skating. It's an amazing community. If you don't have anything, just like I was telling Adam, I think the Aeon is the best skate, hands down, for beginners. I think that it comes flat. This is the 72. Don't get the 72. Don't get this one. But this is the Aeon. Imagine this with smaller wheels, and this is what you get. It's an amazing skate. It's the most solid skate because the frame is part of the boot, so you don't have any wiggle at all. It comes like this, so you don't have to worry about putting frames on. You don't have to do frame bolts or anything. It just has wheels. You go and you skate. What's not to love, right? If you're on a budget, I would probably still recommend just saving up and getting an Aeon. A couple options. A lot of people like Razor's Colts. I've never skated the Razor's Colt, but I hear that they're okay. They're like $150. You could also look at the USD Sway. I think they're around the same price, at $150 or so. The Majestic 12, I think that's a fairly cheap skate at like $160 $160. I don't know how much the M12 is. I know the Pro models are like $220, so it's got to be cheaper than that. Any of those will probably be okay for you, assuming that you're talking about aggressive. If you're talking about fitness, I mean, there's so many great fitness skates out there. If you're brand new to skating, where did they go? Oh, I had these little rec skates. I think I lost them already. Well, I had these Blade Runner skates that I actually don't mind. I don't know where they went. They are $70, and they're not great, but they will get you in the door. And if you just wanted to get new skates, maybe you had a pair of used skates, they're starting to fall apart. This is a fairly good upgrade if you want to save money. You should probably get new wheels. The wheels on those skates weren't great, but everything else was fine. You slide your foot in, you tie them up. It had a 45-degree strap. The bearings were totally legit. I think you would have a lot of fun with that. And it comes with a brake. And, you've just started skating, so I feel like a brake is pretty important. Any of these aggressive skates, they're not going to come with a brake. Any of the fitness skates that I ride aren't going to come with a brake. You probably want a brake just to learn your balance, learn your edges, learn how to slow down. You'll take that brake off pretty quickly, but it's nice to have as a learning tool when you start feeling more confident on your wheels. Always happy to answer questions, though. Please feel free to leave comments in the YouTube. Find me on Facebook. Find me on Instagram. I do actually read all of my comments and all of the messages. Again, I'm in this for blading. So if you've got questions, it might take a few days for me to get back to you, but I will get back to you. And, I love helping people. So thanks for the comment, and thanks for watching. Against the World asks, what is a good skate for wider feet? I'm looking at either the Razor SL or the USD 7. Both are great skates for the wider feet. The widest is, what is it, the Sway? Is the Sway pretty wide? I think the Sway is pretty wide. The USD 7, if you can find them, are great. Like I was talking with Adam, they're great skates, but it's really hard to find because they stopped making them. The Razor SL, I do have a pair of SLs in navy that I'm going to be trying next weekend. Stay tuned for that. I will let you know what it feels like, but I think that they are pretty wide, good for wide feet. Honestly, don't know. I haven't skated them. I don't know. I should probably measure my foot width, so that people know that. I'll do that before my SL session. Another good option is these rollerblade New Jacks. I never talk about these, but these were actually really great skates. They fit really wide. They have a really nice wide foot base. They are lighter than I remember. The thing that I didn't like about these is there was a heel lift that I wasn't a big fan of. But if you can take out that internal shock absorber like insole and put in your own insole, they feel fine. And I actually really liked these. I felt like they were very supportive, super well constructed. The only things that I didn't like aside from that lean was the Royale angle. It's very low. This sole plate wasn't so great. It's super wide and it's really low. It doesn't give you much space for doing Royales. It would probably be really good with some wish frames or some taller frames, but with the stock frames or with balance frames, I wasn't a huge fan. But yeah, I would give these a shot too if you're interested. I actually like the way they look. I think they're a nice looking skate. But bunch of good options for wide feet. What you want to avoid is the Aeons. You want to avoid the Majestic 12s. You want to avoid the Colts. You want to avoid probably the Carbons and the Carbon Frees. I think those aren't great for wide feet. And the K2s, I don't remember about the K2s. K2s might be okay, but I don't know. I don't know if K2's still making them, so I don't want to endorse K2 if they're not going to be part of the industry. Right. Shroom7, I'm assuming that's how you pronounce your name. If memory serves, you need longer bolts for the grind plates. You don't. So the ones that I have, these are the stock bolts. So these are the ones that come with the super axles. I've recessed, this isn't, I'll show you the black one. I've recessed this bolt enough so that it still provides enough strength so it won't pull through. It's aluminum, so it doesn't need a ton, but it provides enough strength, and there's still enough for like 4 rotations of the bolt. Of course, this is why we test. I've skated these grind plates once for one session for an hour. Never had any problems, and as far as I can tell, where's my, do I have a key anywhere? I do. Oh. See if I can get it out. Here we go. If it spins, then you'll know that it's loosening. That one doesn't spin, and that one doesn't spin. So I feel as though these bolts aren't going anywhere. I think that they're going to fit perfectly with the stock bolts, but of course, if I find that they need new bolts, I will get new bolts made, and I will make sure that I include them in the package. This is still testing. I like to test in public. I like to get your feedback on things. I don't like to make products that you don't like. I think these have some legs, and I think that they're going to be popular, and I think people will like them. But I won't ship them until they're 100% from my quality level, and right now they're not yet. So they're really just a proof of concept. I can tell you, though, that the way that they're designed, they will use the standard axles. You won't have any problems with that. Brian Allison, do you think you'll be at, what year is it, in the future years as well? I sure hope so. If they do it next year, I plan on going. It is only a 9-hour, 8-hour drive from North Carolina, which is far, of course, but it's fine. I mean, it's once a year that I get to hang out. What I really am interested in with what year is it is the community. Just being a skater for a weekend, going out there and skating. You know, Blading Cup is an amazing event, and I did Blading Cup last year. I'm not going to be able to do it this year. I have too many commitments around that time, and unfortunately, it's November 1st, and my kids need Halloween, so I have to be here for Halloween. They take it really seriously, and I can't take a red eye after Halloween, get there and set up the next day. That's just not possible. So it's unfortunate, but it's, you know, what I get for living on the East Coast. The difference in Blading Cup, I got to meet a lot of people, but I didn't get to skate with a lot of people. What year is it I'm going to get to skate with a lot of people? And I'm a skater. Like, that's what I do. Even if I didn't have any of the companies, I would skate every weekend because I love skating. And I felt like Blading Cup was more of a company thing, which I definitely need, but I really prefer to have more of a skating thing. So this is a skating event. This is an event for skaters. This is an event for me as an older dude who never got to go to Woodward as a kid, who now gets to go to Woodward and skate. So I am going to take every advantage of Woodward, and I'm going to go as often as I can. So if they do it again next year, you know that I'll be there next year. Daniel, 85As melt here in Florida. I mean, I've got Brent skating 85As in Arizona, so I don't know that it's that much different. Definitely depends on how big you are and what sort of stuff you skate. I don't recommend 85A for anti-rocker. I know some people do skate at anti-rocker, but 85A wheels, they're for comfort. You know, they're designed for skating skate park. They're designed for skating bowls. They're designed for skating flat. That's what I wanted to do with the 85A. And they do a great job with that. Obviously, if you're a bigger guy, if you're skating in a hot climate, if the concrete is crap, like, don't skate 85A. It's the right tool for the job. You know, it's just like these aluminum grind plates. Skating coping in aluminum grind plates is great. But skating a gritty ledge, like, don't do that. Like, or skate a marble ledge, something that you're going to chip off, and building management's going to come out and yell at you, and you're an old dude that's breaking the, you know, planner outside of some business. Like, don't be that guy. Like, obviously, 85A has its purpose. I love skating 85A, especially in North Carolina, especially in indoor parks on wood. But I think I actually prefer skating the 88A. I think that's better for me for all-around skating. You got to give it a shot, though. 95A, though, I don't know about that. I skated the 95A Conjures, and they were just like skating on rocks. no offense to Conjure and no offense to Dead. I think that some people like 95A. I just don't know how you do it. Like 92A felt pretty hard to me when I was skating the Dead 92s. Yeah, I don't know. I think 90 is as hard as I would want to go. The Stefan wheel, I think you're going to really like, and it's designed for skating anti-rocker. I can't see us doing a harder wheel than 90A. I just don't think that it's as much fun. And ultimately, if I'm not going to skate it, I'm not going to make it. But you do you. If you want to skate your 95As in Florida, I have respect for that, as long as you're skating. Oops. Oh, YouTube, it just jumped around again. Craig, is the large frames going to be somewhat safe from wheel bite if riding flat? The large frames, I don't have a set of, oh, here's the large frames. So this is large frames. The split on the large frame is the same. I'm assuming you're talking about balance frames. The split on the large frame is the same split as on the medium frame. There's no difference between these two wheels. So it's 96 millimeters from front to back. You will have just as much wheel bite on the medium frame as you do on the large frame. In saying that, if you skate the right wheels, if you skate a 88, like one of these 58A 50/50 wheels that was designed to minimize wheel bite, if you skate some rounded 56 wheels, you're going to have a great time skating these. I do get wheel bite if I'm skating these on ledges, especially if I'm doing like back royales or stuff like that. Anything that I'm sitting on a ledge, I'm so used to skating anti-rocker that I'm going to get wheel bite with these. I just don't get down enough to avoid the wheel bite. But I feel like the benefit outweighs the disadvantage of skating flat. I think that it's a fun feeling and it really feels like you're skating. I don't mind losing a few more tricks if I can skate better and have a better time skating. So yes, you're going to get as much wheel bite as you would get on a medium as on a large. I don't know how much wheel bite that is. Personally, I don't get a ton of wheel bite with this setup, but it depends on wheels. It depends on how you skate. It depends on what you're skating. There's a lot of variation. Yeah, that's it. I don't know what else to say. 30 and rolling. What is the biggest flat setup I should roll on a set of 50/50 frames? I think you can fit 59s, but I would stop at 58. This is a medium frame. These are the 58s, and you can kind of see on the video that the 58 almost rubs on the little H-block area. You could probably get a 59 in there and not have a problem. Really depends if you want to Dremel it out a little bit. Some of the 60s actually will rub a little bit on the top of the medium frame. If you're skating a medium frame, you might need to rub these out if you want to ride 60s anti-rocker. Large frame doesn't have a problem, but they're designed for 58. You could probably fit a 59 in there, but I wouldn't. I would stop at a 58. I would also bet that you won't be able to tell the difference between flat 58 and flat 59. So I would probably stick with 58. I think you'll really like this setup. I think I go fast. I feel like I'm in control. I do like skating flat 60s on my Aeons, but I feel like that's a completely different, Aeon is a completely different ballgame. 58 is probably what I would do. Timothy Donovan, I look forward to meeting you this weekend. Your channel is one of the reasons I started skating again, and now I'm going to Woodward for what year is it? Timothy, that's going to be awesome. I also have stickers, so make sure that you find me. I'll have my backpack with me with all the frames for people to try out. Get some stickers as well. There's some blading community stickers. There's some back to blading stickers, all that sort of stuff. And yeah, would love to meet you. It's going to be awesome just to get a picture with everybody that I know in the YouTube, but I've never met. So super excited about it. Remember, I'm not going to be there until Saturday, really. Friday night we get in. We'll have the booth set up, but I'm going to be driving all day, so I'm probably going to be dead. Saturday's probably the best day to hang out and get pictures and skate. Craig, I'm writing REMS OS right now, and was curious if you've heard anything that is going on with the new REMS and their mysterious Black Widow on their page. I have not. I have not heard anything. I think the obvious is that they're probably coming out with a new skate. Ben actually talked about that on the last episode of the podcast that I had to edit out. We went really long. So I had to edit out some of it, but Ben did talk a little bit about the REMS webpage that's changed into like this Spider-Man looking spider thing. Very mysterious. I don't know what they have planned, but I've never skated REMS before, so it might be something that I'm interested in trying. I never skated the OS. I never skated any of the REMS. So I have friends that skated REMS. They like them. So it might be something worth me trying. But I don't have any insider information. I don't talk to any of those guys. I sure hope that they have a new skate coming out, though, because I remember it was a while since that last REMS came out, the one that came out like last year or the year 2 years ago. It was a long time before then, and it feels like it's been a while. So if they're doing one every 2 years or something like that, they're due. I sure hope it's a nice one. Against the World, where can I get a wider skate? I think I already talked about this, but I would definitely look into the rollerblades. I would look into the 7s and the SLs. I think those are the wide skates. The widest skate on the market is the Genesis. I think the Racer's Genesis. If you can find those are probably the widest if you have really wide feet. But yeah, I have never skated them, so I don't know that I can recommend them. But I've heard that they're really wide. All right. Any idea, James Cherrier? I apologize. Any idea what companies carry a skate that would fit a 13.5 shoe size? You're looking at Rossi's. You're looking at some USDs maybe. Rollerblade probably. That's what I would say. I don't know for sure. Hard to say. I think that the biggest ones that fit are the Majestic 12. So those are probably the ones that fit the biggest. I see that it wasn't tagged, but it's right above it. Manual, would you still recommend the Aeon setup for a wooden skate park down in South Carolina? Howdy, neighbor. Absolutely. The Aeons are great skates. The wooden skate park isn't going to make any difference to you. I think if you, if anything, you with a wooden skate park, you might slip out a little bit, especially if it's indoors. You might get some dust where it gets a little slippery. That's where you want softer wheels. That's where you might be interested in the 85A Fitty Fitty wheels, or get some 88A wheels. Bunch of companies make 88A. That's probably going to be the biggest change. But your Aeons are going to be amazing. Again, they're amazing skates, especially with that flat setup. You're going to love the speed that you get on wooden skate parks. A lot of transitions, and if you're skating flat with transitions, you really feel that whole transition because you're going to have more wheels on the ground when you're carving up. It's going to be a really great feeling. I highly recommend Aeons on wooden skate parks. No question about it. All right. I think I'm good. I'm at an hour, 50 minutes, but I've been out here for an hour trying to get this to work. I've actually got to finish packing things up for Woodward. I've got a few more frames that I need to put together, some more wheels to put together. I will have, compass and Fitty Fitty wheels and stuff at, what year is it? If you are coming, please come on and take a look. See what they all look like in person. Everything's going to be for sale as well, and I would love to get you a deal on some stuff so that you can have a really great weekend. Thank you for watching. I do this every other week, and if you are around, it would be great to join the live stream. It's on Wednesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern. It is the best time for most people, especially me, because this is when I can get my kids to sleep. I can come out here and I can talk gear, and I could talk wheels and boots and stuff like that. Absolutely love it. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for your patience with the little hiccup in the beginning, and cannot wait for Woodward. Make sure that you subscribe if you haven't already. I'm also going to be posting on the Instagram stories. I don't normally post on Instagram stories, but this is the sort of trip where I think stories is going to be really cool. Definitely follow me on Instagram if you haven't already. And if you are out there skating, tag Back to Blading on your posts. I want to see you skating, especially if you're just getting back out there and you need a little encouragement. Let me know. I would love to see what you're working on. Have a great weekend, and I will see you guys in 2 weeks.